Hello everybody, this is Chris and I am doing this tutorial to show you how to do a herringbone stitch, which I actually learned off of a different site. It's called Needles and Threads. It is so awesome. So it taught me how to do this really cool herringbone stitch. I think mine is a little tight. But anyway, but you get the idea. It's my first one, so I think it looks pretty good for my first one. But anyway, the first thing I did was I started out here and I drew a little box for to make a guideline so I could practice. And if you're just practicing, you may want to do this too. I drew a box. It was 3 inches long, and it's a rectangle, and then it's a 1/2 inch wide. Then, if you can see on here, I also drew these little places for me to stitch, and the first one came over 3/8 of an inch right there, and then each little partition or each little place is 1/8 of an inch wide. And so I did that one, 3/8 of an inch, then 1/8 of an inch wide. Okay, then 1/2 inch, then 1/8, then 1/2 inch, then 1/8, 1/2 inch, 1/8, and then this worked out to be, I think it's 1/2 inch too. Yeah, 1/2 inch and then 1/8 at the very end. So that all worked out really nicely. So I'm gonna do the same thing down here at the bottom. Go over 1, 2, 3/8, and then 1/8, 1/2 inch, 1/8, 1/2 inch, 1/8, 1/2 inch, 1/8, 1/2 inch. Ooh, I think I'm sliding a little bit. Yeah, this one's too big. So there's that. Okie dokie. So, after doing that, then I need to get some thread. Your thread needs to be about 36 inches long, and that's only because I doubled my thread when I sewed it here. That way I could see it real well. So this is actually, it's some kind of orange cotton thread, and it's doubled. And it's a thread that you can use when you're sewing jeans. But for this illustration, I'm just going to use like a simple cotton thread that you can use, and it's thundering here. I don't know if you can hear that. But a cotton thread that you can use, it's like a serger thread, industrial serger thread or whatever. Okay, so once I did that, doesn't have to be perfectly 36 inches. And looped it over twice. Okay. So I did that, and I'm going to thread my needle. Okie dokie, so we're going to start this stitch. First big question is, how do you start it so that your thread doesn't come loose? So we're going to come up here, and then we're going to go down right back in that same spot. And it should catch the fabric just a little bit. And then underneath, we are going to tie it. So I don't feel comfortable just taking a couple stitches. Uh-oh, I'm losing my needle here. Come back here, needle. Okay. There we go. Okay, you got it nice and tied. Then we'll come back up in that spot. And then we'll begin our stitching. So I like to do something that's called the sewing method, which the lady on the site talked about. And it's basically, we're going to come up here and we'll always be sewing zigzag like this. Okay? And then to do the other side, you have to stop and start again. But anyway, the sewing method basically is you take this like this, and when you're doing your stitching, you'll just scoop the fabric up a little bit. Like that. And then you'll go through and pull your thread a bit. Okay. And then you'll do the same thing when you come over here. Oh, and the placement of the thread is important also. So like how we're doing this and we're going down, the thread will stay below, or what she calls the working thread, will stay below. See how the thread is below the needle? Okay. And then we'll pull. Okay. Uh-oh, excuse me. Then when we come up here, the thread needs to be above the needle. Okay. And the same deal, come down again, and the thread should be below the needle. And then when I do the other side, I'll show you the other method. Okay. This is so cute. I love this stitch. And then you'll come here and remove the thread above. Uh-oh. Bad. I messed up. I was just supposed to go in there. So, what I'll do is just stop here, because I messed up a little. So I'll just come here, and then what she said to do, when you're finishing it at the back, like you can see on the previous one that I did, you're supposed to run back underneath your stitches. So we'll come here, and here, and here. It's like, this is what I think they call a whip stitch. Okay, now of course, once again, I don't feel secure just leaving it like that. So I'm still going to take a small stitch and just catch the thread here and tie it. And I'm holding the knot because the knot will move up the thread sometimes. Okay, so that's good. I'll leave a little room on it. There. Okay, so we're going to ignore this one. That's the herringbone stitch that I learned from needlesandthread.com, which is awesome. Okay, so the stab method is very simple, and it goes like this. We'll go down here, and it just means that you're going all the way through the fabric. You're basically stabbing your needle through the fabric instead of kind of picking your fabric up and staying on one side. So with the stab method, you're going back and forth between your two sides of fabric. And I like the sewing method better. That's just me, though. I think if you organize your thoughts a little differently in your mind, you might like the stab method better. And sometimes people who are just like to kind of separate your thoughts, you don't like to do too much multitasking if it's unnecessary, you know. So, and I'm like that with some things. So let's see. This is coming out okay. I'm not as pleased with this one as I was with the one yesterday. Okay. Okay. Flip it over, and then we're going to go under our stitches. 1, 2, 3. Like the owl from the Jolly Rancher. Not Jolly Rancher, Tootsie Roll commercials. So we'll do that. And then, just because I don't trust it, We're going to sew through this again. And we're done. Snip. Yay, herringbone. So for some reason, the one I did yesterday looks a little better than the one I did today. This one's flatter, but this one just looks nicer. I don't know. But either way, it's a process. You know, go ahead and take your time, learn it. It's so cute. I love it. So, thanks. So, leave me a comment and let me know if you've ever used the herringbone stitch before, or maybe if this is your first time and this is something that's really cute and you think you might use. I love it. I think it is it's like the cutest little accent to the fabric. And I'm going to be learning some more from her videos, and then I'll come teach you guys some more too. So, and if not, you can check out her site at needlesandthread.com. And it's like an N, like the letter N, instead of the word I-N. So, needlesandthread.com. Check her out.